we might just flick over to the telly and we will wrap up the New South Wales response to coronavirus. And the headline there is Our COVID Car Crash. Limo lapse disaster, 10 million in lockdowns. The headline, the health order failure which enabled an airport limo driver to catch and spread COVID-19 is now a full-blown car crash with more than 10 million people in 2 states locked down. The lapse, which plunged Victoria into a 5-day lockdown last night after removalists and a family spread the virus there, has resulted in almost 950 infections in 2 states so far, 2 deaths and billions of dollars in economic damage. And I think, Leisa, what this demonstrates very clearly is that people have to take personal responsibility. They have to take personal responsibility with their social distancing. They have to take personal responsibility with the way in which they, get vaccinated. And it really comes down to people doing the right thing. And if they're sick, you get tested.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the press conference today with Gladys Berejiklian became really quite hostile. There was a lot of pressure starting to be put on her to shut down Greater Sydney and more of New South Wales, very much like what we've seen Daniel Andrews do in Victoria. So the fact that you can still, which seems a bit bizarre, but still go and browse a store, or that retail is still able to operate. I understand the argument behind it, that if the retail stores are open, then at least the staff you've got some way of maybe being able to afford to pay some of the bills. But a friend of mine rang me in disbelief 2 days ago and said, she went to the supermarket, it's meant to be one person only, no browsing, in and out. And she said there was a family of 6 there and there were multiple big groups of people. So you're spot on. Not everyone in New South Wales has taken this seriously. And I think we've seen Gladys Berejiklian come out tougher and tougher in recent days. And she was trying to reassure everybody today to say that the numbers are beginning to stabilise. We should, by all accounts, start to see them fall next week. Let's fingers crossed that that is the case. But we spoke about this, in the past few weeks, that she really kind of backed herself into a corner because we were all holding her up as the gold standard. She was not going to lock down. And in fact, on the 2nd of July, National Cabinet, the Prime Minister himself, said that lockdown would be the last step. It would be an extreme measure. Well, look where we are now. There's so much pressure for New South Wales to completely shut down. And Daniel Andrews has already is about to slam the gate closed, within minutes.
We're heading slowly but surely north, and we're heading to the Courier Mail. This is a good story. Shot to be a millionaire, jab lotto, stay healthy and strike it rich in plan to boost vax rates. Vaccinated Aussies could have a chance to strike it rich with the nation's biggest lottery provider willing to host a draw to get jabs into arms. What an innovative, terrific way to really put a torch underneath Australians to get vaccinated. I noticed that figure's up to 12.5%, with the target being 80%. Slowly but surely it's increasing.
Yeah, and the talk today there was a lot of talk about there's now lockdown hesitancy, and of course in recent months it's been all about vaccine hesitancy, and there are still people worried about the health effects of getting the vaccine. But I think when you see 2 of our main powerhouses in this country, the states of Victoria and New South Wales, pretty much effectively locking up 10 million people, and radiuses of you can't go outside of a 5K radius again of your home, that really sends home a strong message that you need to get out and get vaccinated. And look, there are still about 30% of people who are only eligible for AstraZeneca who still are hesitant and won't go out and get that. We've said it before, I'll say it again, it needs to be opened up. As soon as they can get more Pfizer into this country, you need to be able to have the choice as to what vaccine you want to put into your arm. And I think that's when we will see a real spike in those numbers. And look, if we can get to October, which is what they're predicting, where we can have everybody everybody who chooses to, having at least 1, at best 2 jabs, then I think we'll see a very different country. Because, look, the rest of the world is opening up. And here we are. Like I said, tonight, people are being locked in their homes again. It is just so hard to fathom that this is where we are again.